to play.
This is where I agree, though. This is where I agree, and I get a bit because I just think people are so up the arse of this manager. Which again, I've got nothing against Thomas Frank.
Whoa.
No, I'm true.
You're always trying to cook the manager. Man went from ANGE to Frank. Like, Frank's been in the job for 2 months. You're saying, man, I'm
not being funny. Yeah, no. But the facts are. Yeah, a manager has got a shelf life at Tottenham Hotspur for 18 months. Yeah, that's how long they last. So he's starting from now, bro. He's starting from now. No disrespect. Yeah, because like. Big YouTuber, one big YouTuber, I'm not going to name him, said a shelf life at Tottenham Hotspur is 16 months. That's facts. Yeah? And don't talk to me about Potter.
No, but what's your point now? I don't even know what you're making, though. Make your point, Alex.
My point is
about the shelf life. We got a new shelf life. The shelf has been refreshed. Now talk about what's going to happen with this new shelf.
Big European trophy on that.
So all I'm saying is he needs to prove himself. That's what I'm trying to say at the moment. He needs to prove himself. Yeah, and again, I've got nothing against Thomas Frank, because when I say this, people say I've got a agenda against Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is not annoying me right now. Right, I'm actually calm with the guy, but people get so in their feelings when I say this that he needs to prove himself, because he hasn't done it in Europe. He failed at Bromby, wherever he was. Right, that's fact. People don't want to go there, but he didn't do it in Europa League, bro.
But it's funny though, Alex, yeah, because like everyone keeps talking about the Champions League, and yes, guys, we're in the Champions League, yeah, but the reality is we're also in three other competitions, right? Yeah. And anyone who went into this season believing that, okay, like, and I'm not trying to be a downer or trying to be that guy in it, but guys, if you think we're putting a run on in the Champions League, give your head a wobble, please. It's not happening, okay? Do you know what I'm saying? There's three other competitions that we need to, you know what I'm saying? Now, for me, I'm expecting Thomas Frank to get us back into the top 8. And win a trophy, pick up a cup as well, and pick up a cup. That is my expectation. If he fails, you lot know me, yeah. You guys, the Mr. Crash Out. You guys know me. I'm gonna call him out, yeah. However, I'm not even sitting here saying Frank is the Messiah. I'm just notice how everything I've said has been based off of what I've seen him do. I'm never gonna sit here and talk about what I haven't seen a manager do. For example, until I saw Ange play defensive, I didn't sit here and say Ange is the type where, oh, if his job's on the line, he's going to switch it up. No, I waited until he done it. So for now, until I see Frank do something that I'm unhappy with, which I haven't seen, apart from maybe the way he's deploying Tel, I haven't really been a fan of. But apart from that, I had nothing to be unhappy about. I think what there is there's a lot of bitterness because a lot of people didn't want Thomas Frank. And this isn't even aimed at anyone in specific, yeah, but because people didn't want Thomas Frank, I think people are getting on, are looking for any reason to pick at him, any reason to see him fail. And it's like, blood, he's the manager of our club now. So until he's done something that warrants us being pissed at him, give the guy a bloody chance. Like, he hasn't done anything yet.
I know what you're saying, but I can flip it the other way, and I can give you 6 things right now that if Ange would have done, the fan base would have been uproar about. Everyone kept telling me Mikey Moore should be starting at Spurs.
Agreed. No, that's lies. That's lies.
I didn't agree.
People said he should start during the injury crisis. Nobody wanted him to start when we had our best team. You can't do that.
And I said he should come off the bench more.
Who would be the best team? Everyone was saying that Sonny needs to go. So anyway, Mikey Moore should have played more. That he mishandled the way that he managed him. Well, Frank sent him out on loan. If Ange would come out,
if you actually read the reports, Mikey Moore wanted guaranteed game time, so he would have pushed for the loan, and his team would have pushed for the loan.
So Frank should have given it to him because he's good enough.
No, Mikey Moore.
This is what I'm trying to say. Ben Davies. If Ange would have come out and said Ben Davies is our option at left back, he would have been scrutinised.
Yeah, agreed.
On Tel and Odebear. Yeah, them playing so much, Tel being signed, and then him using him as an option.
Agreed.
Is everyone's saying that they shouldn't have been playing. They're not good enough. We shouldn't have signed them.
I don't know. Some people love Tel, innit? Odegaard maybe, but with Tel, it's a bit here or
there. It's like a joint thing. From what's been said, he seems to be happy with strikers because that's not where we're looking at. Listen, I'm not saying this is all Frank's fault. I'm just saying if it was the other way around. So he seems to be quite happy with who we have up front because the idea is that we only target in a centre back and a 10. If ANGE would have done that, it would have been. But the
thing that you're not taking into consideration is what has Frank been told? Frank, we've already saw at the start of the show that Tottenham are confident we will have our budget. So the budget hasn't already been assigned. Frank doesn't actually know the budget that he's working with. How do you know that Frank's not been told?
No.
Frank has clearly been told. We know that we need a left winger, a 10, and a striker. We saw in the news that Ben Jacobs come out, and we saw prior to that news that Spurs were looking. Remember the prompt, and Alex, you read the prompt, so I know you saw Tottenham wanted a multifunctional forward. This was before Frank come in that we was told that, and we're now being told the same thing. We want someone that can play in the 10 and the left wing. So we've pretty much been told all summer we wasn't getting a striker. We've been told that we want a multifunctional player. We can't now put on Frank that Frank didn't want.
No. Listen, I'm not putting it on Frank. What I'm saying is when the fan base had a conclusion and then they've used everything that fit that argument, they didn't look at it balanced. Yeah. You can't turn around and sign 7 first-team players. Everybody knows that. But everything was placed on ANGE. So again, looking at everyone, Son, not good enough.
I get what you're saying as well.
Son needs to go.
It's just being consistent.
If you listen to what's been coming out, Frank said to Son, I want you to sign a new contract. If ANGE would have done that, oh my God, there would have been a meltdown. And then apparently, Frank doesn't want Eze. Now, I was told that ANGE has no idea what a player is because he didn't want Eze. But your manager now don't want Eze. So, I'm just saying that you have to hold them both to the exact same thing.
It's consistent.
It was quite clear, but this is the thing, though. It's quite clear we didn't want Eze because we went in for Kudus straight after. We chose our player. Kudus was that one.
But all of last year. So the rumor was that not this summer, last summer.
I know last summer that he turned down Eze. Yeah.
For Eze, and he said, I don't want him. Now, the facts, apparently the facts is that Frank doesn't want Eze now. But I was told that ANGE knows nothing about football because he doesn't want Eze, but not as Frank.
But then the common denominator is Eze. Because we've also been told all summer Arsenal want Eze, but Arsenal haven't triggered a deal for Eze. But they've signed Madueke for 50 million. They was happy to pick up a backup for 50 mil. So what I'm saying is Eze's the denominator. Quite clearly, Eze's not as good as many fans think. When people look into it, big up to you, man. Big up to you, man.
That's the point.
Eze is not as good as many people think. Quite clearly, he's been overrated. So that's all I'm saying here. I don't think you're making a bad point. I think you're making a valid point.
I think
there's some things about Frank that probably haven't been criticized, but I think it hasn't been criticized because at the end of the day, we judge managers by what we see on the pitch. We haven't seen Tottenham enough on the pitch for us to actually judge and say he's been
this
bad
is the point I made.
Made the wrong decision.
By the way, I don't think he should be judged. This is my point and it was all last year, is that all of these things that are being thrown at ANGE, he spent all of this money. All of this money, or most of this money that was spent, was either Kane money, where we needed new players to come in, or like last year, we signed one player to improve that 11. That's all we signed. All of the rest of the money that was spent was not to improve that 11, was to improve the squad. That doesn't help you when you're trying to challenge for stuff. And this is the problem. I think that we need to work out that the issues that are happening at this club are more so to do with the structure, are more so to do with, like you said it earlier about Son. 3 years he's been on the decline. Yeah, his stats might have been decent. For 3 years he's been on the decline. Why is it taking? But why are we here now? 3 years, because Spurs fans could see it.
Because there's the stability of the director of football, which I don't think we've got time to go into that at the moment, because that's been a problem for a long time. You get what I'm saying? But this is the point I'm making. Consistency. You're just saying it right now, Luke. We've got nothing against Thomas Frank, right? But at the end of the day, Thomas Frank, right, agreed to come to Tottenham knowing full well what Tottenham Hotspur are all about. He's not stupid. He's been in the Premier League for a long time now. He knows what Tottenham Hotspur are all about. He knows about Daniel Levy, right?
Daniel Levy quite clearly said in his interview that when Frank came, he knows that one of the reasons they got Frank is because he's willing to work within the means of Tottenham.
Exactly. So this is where I don't listen to people, because you had I bet Sav was telling you, "Oh, we'll feel sorry for Thomas Frank." Right?
No, we didn't. He didn't say that. I can't lie. He didn't say that today.
Yeah, but I know he said it
you've
before.
You've had shows of Sabbath, so you probably know.
But the thing is, you have to feel. I feel sorry for him because This is what we have to do. This is what every single manager has to do at this club, and it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, but
we shouldn't be looking at, we're working under this restraint.
But Luke, I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for him because he knows the conditions that he's working in. Because you know what? He turned down Man United. He turned down Man United when it was offered to him, so he knew exactly what he was getting into with Man United.
Mate, I feel sorry. I don't feel sorry. Spurs. Anyone related to Spurs fans, I feel sorry for. Like, this club is just mental.
Listen, man. Again, I've got nothing against Thomas Frank because when I say this, people say I don't say good things when I've said it on my channel. And by the way, wait for the clip that I've got on certain things that I've said on my channel, by the way, because I do things on my own now. You know, I do things on my own. You know what I mean? Because the lone wolf is here, the main event here. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do. Make yourself the main event.
The main event. Make sure you go subscribe.
But the point I'm making is though, right, is that, you know, I'm sorry, he needs to prove himself. He needs to prove himself because the fact is, this guy flopped in Europe, and we've got 2 games a week in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Again, he's got to do it. And he's got to get in that top 10 because if he doesn't get into that top 10, there's going to be question marks. I'm sorry. Because the same thing, like you said, Luke, the same question marks will be about ANGE. You know what I mean? And again, couldn't stand the guy. You know what I mean? But we have to be consistent here. We have to be consistent here.
We have to be consistent, but we have to give the manager time. We've got to let
these questions.
Let's see how the next couple of weeks go.
These questions were always going to be the start of the season was always going to be a problem, regardless of what happened, right? Because if Ange would have stayed, then all the people that wanted Ange out would have been sitting there every single time. If he drew them 2 friendly games, everyone would have gone crazy. If he and then you flip it the other way, and if Frank don't do well in his first 2 games, then loads of people that backed Ange are gonna, which is just madness because it doesn't help the club at all. But this was always going to happen, and it didn't matter who was the manager. It was gonna split the fan base.
Yeah.
So
no, I think I think it's a fair point. I'm with you in the fact that, you know, I'm willing to give. I've always been, even when Ange came in, I didn't want Ange, but when he came in, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the guy time. I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna see how it goes. I judge what I see on the pitch because that's ultimately what matters the most is what we see on the pitch. Mm-hmm. And let's give that time. Next week we got a massive game. I'm gonna try the boardroom next Tuesday, people. So